Istanbul is one of the largest and oldest cities in the world. This has led to its rich and unique culture. This makes it easy for tourists to offend locals and experience less than Istanbul can offer. Here are 7 things you should definitely not do in Istanbul. Number 1. Don't say no to any offers of tea in Istanbul. Saying no to tea in Istanbul is like someone saying, "Hey, do you want to be Facebook friends?" and you turn around and saying, no. It's awkward. What you'll find is when your host is giving you tea, they will keep filling up your glass with or without your consent. So instead of saying no or no more and being impolite, just put your teaspoon on top of your glass, and that just indicates no more tea for me. Number 2 is don't use taxis in Istanbul. Taxis in Istanbul are expensive, and there's loads of reports every single year of tourists getting ripped off by taxi drivers. Instead, use Istanbul's great public transport system by getting a Istanbul cart. It's just a card that you tap on and tap off each time you use public transport. Each trip should cost around 3 Turkish lira, which is about €0.5, so a lot cheaper. Another little tip is don't use Ubers in obvious places around Istanbul. The local taxi drivers don't like people using Ubers and will resort to violence to stop your trip in an attempt to stop Uber operating in Istanbul. Number 3 is don't eat in touristy areas in Istanbul. Areas such as Taksim Square, the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque or the Grand Bazaar. You'll find here that the prices of the food are really expensive and the food itself isn't always authentic. Eat in places such as Dalaman or down the little Turkish side streets where you see locals eating. The food here is a lot cheaper and a lot more authentic. Or better yet, eat with a Turkish local and ask them to order on the menu. Turkish people are really proud of their cuisine and they'll put loads of effort into making sure that you try some amazing food that you've never tried before. Make sure you try the street food. Istanbul has great street food, cheap and always available. Number 4 is don't expect to be understood by a large proportion of people in Istanbul. Lots of locals in Istanbul don't speak English as their second language. So it's a good recommendation before you go, brush up on your Turkish, learn a few phrases at least. For instance, yes is evet, no is hayır, and thanks is teşekkür ederim. And if you forget, just smile, be positive, and have a joke with them. Turkish people love banter, and even if they don't speak English, you don't speak Turkish, you can still have a laugh. And number 5 is don't stay on one side of the river. Istanbul is the biggest city in the world that spans more than one continent. It has the Eastern Asian side and the Western European side, and is split by the Bosphorus Strait, one of the biggest straits in the world, and it's a great trip across. Make sure that you visit both sides because each side has a unique element to it. For instance, the European side has lots of the main tourist attractions, it's also a lot busier and a lot more expensive, whereas the Asian side is a lot calmer and generally cheaper. You'll find on the Asian side there's great cafes and bars and stalls, and the stall owner is a little bit more chilled out. And make sure that you don't forget to buy biscuits on the boat across because the seagulls will swoop down and eat it straight out of your hand. Number 6 is don't discuss football. Turkish people are passionate about football and they're passionate about their own team in football. So if you get in a heated debate with a local person about football, it could quickly turn to violence. So it's best just to avoid talking about football. And finally, number 7 is don't drink the whole cup of Turkish coffee. The Turkish part of the coffee does not refer to the type of coffee, it refers to how it's brewed. It's brewed by sprinkling fine coffee powder into a metal cup full of boiling water and then letting that settle as a mud at the bottom. If you drink the whole cup, you'll end up eating coffee mud and it's gross. This has been 7 things not to do in Istanbul. Don't drink the whole cup of Turkish coffee.